Good morning, welcome to another day in Mawlamyine, and I'm heading to see the largest reclining Buddha in the world. Oh, this is awesome. Feels so familiar from my time in Taiwan. Towards the end of my stay in Taiwan, I drove my scooter as much as I possibly could. It was like my constant companion everywhere. Being back on a scooter feels awesome, feels great. Funny thing is, I was having so much fun driving the scooter that I blew right past my destination. But that may turn out to be a good thing because there's another pagoda located here that I was also interested in visiting. I'll show you what it looks like. There it is up there. This portion of stairs there was like the stairs of doom, burning my feet. So you could fry an egg on those steps, I'm telling you. Gorgeous up here. I'm sharing it with a cloud of dragonflies. And there's the very top of the pagoda complex. There's the countryside, heading down to the river. Follow that river to the north, and that will lead you to Mawlamyine. Look how steep this is. I mean, you're looking straight down, absolutely straight down. Going nice and slow. I've switched into old man mode here. It's a beautiful vantage point though. And today, in fact, is the second day of Diwali. So it's a holiday here, which is why I'm running into quite a few tourists, local tourists. So the reclining Buddha is probably going to be fairly busy as well. Oh man, I think I jinxed myself by talking about getting older. I fell again. Oh, fell right on my hands. It's just not like me to lose my balance. I wasn't even filming at the time, so I don't even have that excuse. Confession time, another correction. When I was down on the highway, I was talking about how I'd overshot the road to go to the reclining Buddha. Turns out I was completely wrong. The reclining Buddha turnoff is still, like half a kilometer south of where we are now. So ignore everything I said there, because in fact I'm up here at this pagoda, and I think that is the entrance down there to the road going up to the reclining Buddha. Whew. Anyway, time to go down, get back on the motorcycle. And I'm gonna look for a place to stop for a cold drink before I head up to the reclining Buddhas. All right, let's start heading down. Oh man, oh that is so hot. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Ow. I'm not kidding, that is hot. In this place on my left, I think it has to be the entrance to the reclining Buddha complex. And there it is there. Wow. And we're just approaching the site with the world's largest reclining Buddha. I believe it is 180 meters long, which is something like 600 feet, maybe 690 feet, if I remember what I read. And there it is there. It's interesting that the pillow he has his head resting on is actually a building. And I believe you can go inside there, and there's a whole bunch of rooms and hallways that extend all the way through the statue, all the way down to the feet. But I'm not sure about that. I was down at the bottom on my scooter, and then some men down there started chatting with me, and they directed me to drive my scooter up this back road that came in through this door. There's kind of a parking garage here. So if you drive up this road, you don't have to climb up the hill, I guess. So I'm already here inside the pillow that Buddha is resting on, and I guess his head is right up there above me. And his hand, I guess, over here. I haven't been out there yet. And here's the road that I drove up on with all the monks' statues over there. And then, so I'm going to head out there next. So this is the parking area. All these motorcycle taxis come up here. When I came up, I wasn't sure, so I ended up parking outside. So I didn't know if I could bring a motorcycle in here or not. Whew. Wow. Oh man, being so close, you can't really get on any perspective on where you are. Let's get out here to the furthest corner and turn around. Whoa. And there's the Buddha's head. His eyelash is made out of thick steel wire, steel, like rebar. And that big white thing I saw that inside I thought was his hand was actually just his ear. And so I guess this would be his hand here. These are his fingers. Oh, it looks like his hand is under repairs here. It's got a metal frame around it. And there is the new Buddha under construction, but is looking at it from here. My guess is that construction has pretty much been abandoned before it was completed. Or maybe it's supposed to look this way at this point. It's interesting to see the inside, though. It's really just a square set of cement columns, just like any building, and then they build the rounded parts on the outside. There's a look down the whole statue towards the feet. So I guess at some point I'll have to make the trip over there if I can. And then from there you should be able to get a view of the whole Buddha on this side. From here you're so close, you don't really get any perspective on it. Oh, here's another balcony down here. Ooh, back in bare feet. Now I'm walking through a construction site on bare feet. Coming here as a tourist is a very casual experience, mainly because not many tourists come here, I don't think. So there's no, rhythms or special ways to treat me, just because I'm a foreigner here. I showed up, and the men I was talking to down below, they knew exactly where I had come from. They looked at my scooter and said, "Oh, you got that from the Breeze Hotel, didn't you? That's where you're staying, So they even recognized the scooter and where it came from. Not really sure what's going on down here. They've got some kind of a sluice for water. I don't know if it was designed for this, probably not, but these boys are using it as a water slide. There's the Buddha's head from here. And then even he has some greenery growing out of his eye over there. Nothing is safe from the jungle here. Just looking around the inside of this structure, and even the outside, strikes me as one of these projects or one of these buildings for which they had enough money to build it. They had construction money, but then once it was built, there really was nothing left in the budget for maintenance. So they build it, and then almost before they're done building it, it's already starting to fall apart, I think. And from that point of view, building the second reclining Buddha doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Whatever money they're spending on that one should really be used to keep this one updated and renovated and clean. But that might speak to human nature as well. I think humans are much more willing to donate money towards, building something awesome, something new and exciting, rather than paying, donating to maintain something that already exists. It's not nearly as much fun, So I think it's easier to raise money if you pitch, building something new, like a new reclining Buddha that's twice as big as the old one, With that pitch, you can get money. A pitch of just, maintaining the one that already exists, probably not going to get you out of a meeting with much money. And inside the rooms, they have these tableaux, I assume exhibiting moments from the Buddha's life or important scenes from Buddhism. There's a whole hallway of them. It's odd to think that we're inside the Buddha right now. Oh. It's almost too bad these statue exhibits weren't outside in a nice garden, They would look a lot nicer outside. But then maybe they would suffer a lot more from the elements, if they were outside. And they wouldn't last very long. And there's a whole series of exhibits from Buddhist hell, I assume. We've got a whole bunch of these devils and demons torturing humans. But to be honest, the scenes are a little bit too grim and too graphic for YouTube, I think. So I'll show one of the demons doing the torturing, but I don't think I'll show the torture itself. I don't know how old this building is, this Reclining Buddha. Yeah, it's weird that I called it a building, but now it feels like a building now that I'm inside it. But this whole section was obviously meant to be something, you know, has little cubby holes on the sides, and they're probably supposed to be statues and tableaus in here, but it's not finished at all. It's just an empty cement shell. And there was a sign back there that said, "Go to second floor." Oh, I think we've reached the feet. So we're actually walking through the ankles, and here's a little piece of the feet over here. I don't know if there is anything up on the second floor. We have to go take a look. As I said, this whole section is completely empty. It's just a cement shell. Again, it feels kind of weird. Just because technically I'm in a construction zone. This is a construction site. And normally to go into a construction zone, you know, with exposed, you know, steel girders and all these sorts of things and cement everywhere, you know, they have rules. You can't go in without, you know, safety boots and steel-toed shoes and helmets and all that kind of stuff. But here, it's the opposite. You have to take your shoes off, you know? So the rule is to go into this construction zone, you have to remove your shoes and walk around in bare feet. These little things amuse me. So here we are up on the second floor, and I guess this is the top of the Buddha's body. And they have some tableaus here with the statues, but they're not finished. There's another floor, but I'm sure this sign says closed. Don't go up there. And they made sure that nobody could get past it. They've got a full gate. So you're not going up there unless you move the whole gate aside. But there is a third floor with an arrow here. Look at that. Go to third floor. They want you to go up. So let's go see. Spooky. Oh. Oh my gosh. So that's the area over there that's blocked off, apparently for very good reason. But you are allowed to come up here. And this cracks me up. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is just like deadly for bare feet. There's like a million things in there waiting to puncture your feet and cut you up. But then there's the sign right beside it. Wearing shoes is prohibited. You'd think that since this whole thing is basically a construction site, they'd make an exception to the no shoes rule. But no. Ow, ow, ow. It's getting a bit sharp. Ow. And nobody has been up here with a duster, a feather duster, or a vacuum cleaner in a very long time. This poor guy has spider webs coming out of his nose, just covered in dust and dirt. A very grim scene up here with this guy trampling people to death with his elephant. Yikes. Oh my gosh, there's another floor. This place is crazy. I don't know where these stairs lead, but let's find out. Oh man, another floor. And there's more tableau up here. There are a lot of grim things going on in this exhibit. Here we've got some women being tied up. And someone over here preparing to have their heads chopped off, I think. Covered in cobwebs, and like spider webs. Oh man. Look at this place. This is just crazy. Piles of sand here for construction. I guess there's one of our construction workers. It looks like this whole section on the back collapsed at some point. I mean, look at this cement column right here. It's like down to almost nothing, and it seems to be the only thing holding up what remains of this roof. Wow. Look at that. Oh, I don't believe it. There's a spiral staircase going up even higher. This place is insane. It looks like it is just seconds away from collapsing, like the whole thing coming down. Look at this poor tableau. He's lost his arms. He's lost everything. And this guy in the corner. It's like something horrible happened to all these people, like they were melted. so hot in here too. It's baking. Hello. Here's a doorway out by the feet. What can we see here? Wow. So there's the new Reclining Buddha over there under construction. And there seems to be, there's hammering and sawing and building going on over there. So and welding, they really are working on it. Based on the state of the eyes, I honestly thought it had been completely abandoned. But no, they're still working on it. Oh, man, look at this edge. And there are the feet down there. Yeah, it's interesting that they have them flipped so that the face of the new Buddha is sort of facing the feet of the old reclining Buddha. I wonder if that's a good thing to do or not. Well, let's go back inside and then go up that spiral staircase, and I'm guessing that is the final level. It has to be, right? And there's another statue up here on the hill. I haven't been into too many haunted houses in my life, but I've seen a lot of them in movies and TV shows. And the interior of this place is far scarier than any haunted house I've ever seen. It is surreal in there. Let's go back in. And here it is, if you can see it in the dark. Spiral staircase. Oh. And it's pitch black too. Can't see anything. This poor fellow. I'm almost scared to look around the corner. Ooh, there's a tiny little window down here, I think is near the Buddha's eye, perhaps, I don't know. I'll have to try and spot it from the outside. It's funny, there are so many individual construction sites inside here. Like there's this one with this bamboo, and they were working on something here, but there's nobody here anymore. It's like there's so many individual stations all over the place, but they all seem to be abandoned at some point. They start working and then they leave it and go on to another site. Who knows if they'll ever come back to this one. And I'm pretty sure we are at the absolute top. I don't think there's any way to go higher. What's over here? Wow. Amazing view of that other statue. Yeah, and you can see there's, serious efforts at rebuilding going on. All these people down there are lifting up bags of cement to carry them inside. All right, spiral staircase starting to go down. Ow, ow, ow. The tableaus in here get crazier all the time. Look at this one. Got a whole bunch of people floating on something. I guess they're on a small boat on waves, and down below them are great white sharks and a what's that shark that has the big saw on its nose? I can't remember the name of it, but they're all waiting to chew on the people. Crazy scene. Well, I found another stairway to head down. Heading down. And here's an interesting site down on the first floor where I came in. Looks like they're replacing the eyes. These are new eyes, not painted or anything like that, just the flat aluminum. Yeah, 2 of them. So I just left from inside the Reclining Buddha, drove my motorbike down here to the bottom. There's a scooter parking lot behind me there. It costs 500 Chat to park there in the shade, so I thought I'd do that. And I'm just going to climb up into this area here just to sort of get a look at the Buddha from the other side. We got all these boys here in the swimming pool using that slide. So I'm up here on the platform, and this is the normal way for people to go in, park down there in the parking lot, and then walk up through these bridges and stairways, and then you can climb up into the Reclining Buddha itself. Hot, 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 hot. Oh. It's a beautiful sight from over here. I like that one kid. He was escaping from the guy trying to beat him up. Got like a quarter-second head start on the slide, and then he got away by swimming underwater. Smart kid. He's like James Bond material. Oh. So here's the new giant reclining Buddha. Over there. And there's the original. I have no idea where I was when I climbed inside. I see a tiny little window way up there at the top left. That might have been where I was, but I feel like I was even higher than that. I may have been looking out one of the top eye or something like that. And then when I came out near the bottom, you can see the roof over there, overlooking the feet. Well, that was a very cool experience, I have to say. I may have found it interesting for reasons that the builders did not intend, but I found it quite interesting nonetheless. And I think I'm going to call an end to my day here. I've been out in the hot sun long enough today, so I'm not going to continue on to Mudan or head out into the countryside for a long route back. I'm just going to hop back on National Highway 8, zoom back to Mawlamyine, and back to my guest house for another cold drink. So that's the end of my adventures for today, and I will see you in the next video. I realized that I never did even say the name of this place, but I've usually seen it referred to as the Winsane Pagoda, and I guess that was one of the founders, Winsane Sayata and Kyaik Talone Sayata, main donors for building this place, I guess.